Hey guys, Pastor Tanner here, and I don't know if you are as excited about Logos 9 as I have been, but it is finally here. In this video, I want to give you a broad overview of all of the new features and tools that are available in Logos 9. Now, this video is not meant to be a deep dive into any one of the individual tools. We're going to create individual videos for that, so just check out the channel. And this video also isn't meant to be some broad overview that just gives you the high points. Instead, I want to do somewhere in between. I want to show you each of the new features in Logos 9, and I want to show you briefly how to use them. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but enough detail so that you can access those new features in your Logos and begin playing around with them, okay? So that's what this video is meant to do. Please check the channel for other videos as well as tutorials to help you utilize the software, okay? So without further ado, let's dive into Logos 9 and look at all of these new features, how you can access them, and what their use case is going to be. So here you can see when you first open up Logos 9 that it doesn't look very much different from Logos 8. And that's something I actually really like about the program. Logos 8 had so many great strides ahead of 7, and I was nervous that they were going to rewrite the entire UI again, and you were going to get something new you had to learn all over again. That's not the case. Logos 9 looks very much like Logos 8, which I really appreciate. But there are just some improvements and some extra tools that you have available to you. Now, on this taskbar, I want to draw your attention to two things. First, in the upper right corner, you can see a little icon that says account. Now, that should have your own picture there from Faith Life. That's your account, and if you click on that, you're going to be able to actually log out and log back in with a different account. Now, you're going to have the install just like normal, but this gives you the ability to quickly switch between accounts, which is a feature that many people were asking. But more than that, I want you to see the little triple dot help icon up here, also accessible through Alt-P. If you click that triple dot, this brings you to the Help tab, which at first glance doesn't look very different from that in Logos 8, but there's a couple of cool features I want to draw your attention to. First is instant program scaling. Now, it used to be if you wanted to scale the program, you'd have to go into Program Settings. Then you would have to scroll down here to your content scaling or program scaling under accessibility. No longer is that the case. Now you have quick access to your program scaling just by clicking the triple dot. Let me bring out a Bible here and I can show you exactly what I mean. You can see here in this Bible that we are currently at 100% scaling, so that's a lot of words on the screen. Now, I can quickly adjust by just clicking the triple dot, again, Alt-P, and clicking 150%. Instant program scaling to 150%, or I could even go to 200%. Wow, that's pretty large. So this instant program scaling is a quick and easy way to change the level of scaling on the program, and you can access it right here from the triple dot menu, which I think is very, very helpful. Now, other than this feature, there has been a much requested feature for Logos 9, and it's finally here for us. This requested feature is the dark mode. So you see here under application theme, right here, it's under light. You can click dark right here and click restart to apply theme changes. Now we're going to wait a moment to load this up, but so many people love Logos, but didn't like working on it late at night because of the bright white that the background had. You can see here dark mode is implemented. I can bring out that same Bible, and all of a sudden I'm working in more of a grayscale rather than that bright white that is available otherwise. I think this is an awesome feature. This is something I turned on right away when I got Logos 9, and I think you're going to love it as well. You can go through here and now read all of your books, same Logos that you love, but now you've got dark mode available to you. Now, one trick that I want to show you, if you're not familiar with it, is if you'll notice the bar across the top is still white. That bar that shows Logos up there is still white. This is actually not a function of Logos, but it's a function of your own program settings in Windows. So I want to show you how to adjust that as well so you don't have the bright white bar with the nice grayscale dark theme. Instead, we can turn that bar to gray as well. So just minimize and go to your desktop, right-click and go to Personalize, and then under Personalize, you're going to want to go to Colors over here on the left. Once you've clicked colors, go ahead and scroll down and select one of these gray colors. I like this one here called Storm, and click this check mark down here, Title, Bars, and Window Borders. Go ahead and click that check mark and close out. Now you'll see that when I open Logos, that bar across the top is now gray as well. So now I have perfect grayscale in the dark mode of Logos 9 and across the taskbar across the top. I think that's a very nice feature you're going to like. And again, it was most requested, probably their most requested feature for Logos 9. Loving that dark mode. Now, the next thing I want to show you are some changes to the notes. And in particular, you can actually import images into the notes documents. So if you go to Tools and bring up your notes, and I just have a sample note here that I've created. Now, in order to import these images into your notes, you need to click this button right here. This is your Insert Media button. It used to be that when you took notes, they had to be text only, and you couldn't put any images in there, and that was always very frustrating. Now they've made it to where you can insert media into your notes document directly, and I want to show you 3 ways to do that. The first way you can do this, if you click Insert Media, is you can pull something directly from the web. So if I just go to Google and I open up, let's say, an image from the Bible, okay? I open up an image of the Bible, and I found an image that I like very much here. Now, what you're going to want to do is you open that image in a new tab, and you're going to end up with an image just like this, okay? You've opened your image in a new tab. Here's your image. That's what you want to insert. Go ahead and grab the URL from the top. All you have to do is copy that. You can right-click copy, or you can do Control-C. And then now, in your image section of Logos 9, just go to Upload from URL, right here, this button. Upload from URL, put your URL in there, and click Upload. Now, Logos is going to go through a procedure. It's going to upload that image directly to your library, and then you just hit Insert, and boom, it has now included that image right here in your notes. You can click on it to access the media directly, or you can just have it embedded in your notes right there. So you can upload files directly from the internet so long as you're looking at that image's specific URL. But there's another way that you can upload images, and this is by uploading images directly from your desktop. Say you have a picture or something saved on your computer that you want to put into your notes. Even more than that, in the mobile application, you're supposed to be able to grab pictures or images from your camera roll and insert them in your notes as well. Very handy. All you do again is click here on the Insert Media. Then you're going to go to Upload. And now you can select any of those medias that you have. So here we have an excellent image that we want to upload. We hit Open. It begins to upload it directly. And then we hit Insert. And all of a sudden, we have our excellent image right here available to us. Inserted into our document, taken straight from our computer. One final way to upload, and I want to show this one to you guys because I have a feeling this is going to be the most used way of uploading new images. If you find an image that you like in another resource in your Logos library, you can upload that image directly into your notes document, but it's not exactly intuitive how to do it, and that's why I wanted to show you how. So let's go ahead and scroll through here. We're in our ESV Study Bible here, and as you know, the ESV Study Bible has many awesome notes and maps and different tables and things like that. So let's go to one of the Gospels. And I know the Gospels have some awesome maps, tables, and figures. Look at this map right here. This is the Gospel of John, and we have an awesome map here of Samaria, Perea, Decapolis, Galilee, etc. Now, the way you're going to want to bring this image into your notes is by right-clicking it, click on Image in the Selection tab, and click Copy. Now, you can't come straight over your notes document and just paste it. Instead, you need to do what you did before, Insert Media. But now, you go to this Find box here, and you paste your image, Control-V. What it's going to do is search the basis of that image in your Logos library through the Find box, and now upload it directly to your notes. Here's our map, Insert, and boom. Our map that was taken directly out of the ESV Study Bible has been easily uploaded to our notes document by simply copying it and pasting it into the Find box under Insert Media. So I think a lot of you guys are really going to like the images that you can now upload into your notes and implement directly in the place that you're putting all of your text. So that is an awesome feature that I think you'll love here in Logos 9. Now, the next thing that I'd love to show you guys has to do with sermons. Now, many of you guys take your sermons down and put your sermons into Logos specifically. And I just want to show you here, there are a couple small changes that are somewhat significant to the implementation of your sermons in Logos 9. Now, the first thing you'll notice, here's just an example sermon that I've brought up, and this is just a bunch of nonsense that I've pasted in here together. But the first thing you'll notice is all of the sermon info on the right side. It used to be across the top. Now it's on the right. I like that they've moved it over there. I feel like I have more room to type in my notes. So that's the first thing. All that sermon information you want to type in, your series, your description, your topics, etc. You can still put all that in over here. And here's your sermon here on the left. Now, this sidebar has an extra thing you can click, though. Not just sermon info, but actually the sermon notebook. And this is a key addition now into the way you can write sermons in Logos 9. The way the sermon notebook works is that if you already have notebooks set up, you can take notes in those notebooks, and then you can bring those notebooks up right alongside your sermon, actually in your very sermon. Now, why is this important? Well, before, you might have your notes document open over here, and you might be trying to copy and paste and pull information from the notes document and try to put it over here in your sermon. And it never was quite formatted right or anything like that. Now you can pull that information directly over, okay? So if I close some of this material here, delete this out. Again, this is just an example. We've made room now. Let's go ahead and grab from our notebook. We've got a quote here from the Institutes of Christian Religion. All I have to do is click this arrow over, and it's going to insert it directly into my sermon. Boom. We've got this quote from the Institutes of the Christian Religion, and it's all right here. This is an awesome way you can grab from multiple notebooks. Perhaps you have notebooks on some topics or other topics. You can grab multiple notebooks. You can grab multiple notes, and you can bring all of those notes over as you see fit. So let's say I wanted to bring over these notes that I have from Carl Trueman. Just click that insert button and they are there. This is going to be a very handy way of getting your notes from your notes document or your notebooks directly into your sermon. Now you can put it there easily and it's properly formatted right off the bat. One last thing I want to show you that they made a change of in the sermon writing, and that is right up here, this little button titled Preach, okay? Many of you have taken your tablet with you into the pulpit and you've wanted to preach off your tablet and you've opened your sermon manuscript, but you haven't had a good, easy way to preach that sermon manuscript off of your tablet. Now, this Preach button is going to generate that for you. So you click this and it's going to bring up an easy to preach example of your sermon broken down with all your slides, all of your points, etc. So this is a really good way, especially if you like to preach directly off your tablet, to actually bring up a very nice, preachable version of the sermon that you've written. So no longer are you going to have to do any fancy finagling, printing this out or anything like that. If you want to preach directly off your tablet, now all you have to do is hit this Preach button. And again, it brings up a perfect preachable version of that sermon that you wrote. So that's a very, very powerful tool if you're going to want to preach digitally. Okay, so that's enough for the sermons, and now I want to show you the reading plans. Now, you can still build reading plans the same way you did in Logos 8. I'm not going to go into the details of how to build reading plans in this video. That will be for another video. But I want to show you the changes they've made to reading plans in Logos 9. There is a very important change that they've made to be able to implement reading plans from individual books here in Logos 9. So I just want to show you that. So let's open a book that maybe you would want to put a reading plan together on. This is Systematic Theology by Wayne Grudem. A very big book. A lot of people have read through it. Very, very recommended Systematic Theology. Now, where you can implement the new reading plans in each individual resource is through the Information tab. Now, the Information tab is very much the same as it was in Logos 8, but there's a new button right here called Start Reading Plan. You can easily start a new reading plan just by navigating to that resource in Logos and clicking this button, Start Reading Plan. You can already see it's got a reading plan set up for you. Okay, so you're able to implement a new reading plan without going through the old method of doing it, but instead of just grabbing that direct resource and implementing a reading plan there. Now, there's a couple changes that have been added to the reading plan that I think are very, very nice, and I just want to draw your attention to them as well. First of all, this reading plan, if you will notice, is broken down by chapter. It used to be prior to this that when you implemented a reading plan, you could tell it how long you wanted to take to read the book, and then it would just chop the book up into individual segments that really didn't take into account the chapter divisions. No longer the case when you navigate to the reading plan using the Start Reading Plan button. Instead, it is going to default to breaking up your reading plan chapter by chapter, which is very, very nice and lends itself to much more succinct divisions in those books that you're reading. The other thing I wanted to point out to you is right here. You have this option to read at your own pace now. Before, you establish your reading plan based upon days, weeks, months, etc. And what would happen is if you fell behind, your Logos would start alerting you that you're behind on your reading plan. Sometimes you want to set up a reading plan for a book, but you don't have any precise determination on when you want to finish it or when you want it to be done. That is what this at your own pace is for. If you start a reading plan at my own pace, then you don't have to worry at all about when you're going to finish it or anything like that. You can just set it up to read at your own pace, and when you feel like you have time, you can read each section, and it'll save your progress as you go. So this is a very nice new feature to read at your own pace, and the new chapter divisions, as well as the ability to set up reading plans independent on each resource, just grabbing that resource and under the Info tab, clicking Start Reading Plan. So I figured you guys would very much like that, and I think those are some good additions to the reading plans. Okay, guys, now I want to show you the charts tool for searches, okay? And I just want to show you a couple features with that. If you go up here to Tools, and under Content, you click Charts right here. Now, this is going to navigate you to this little tab here, and I'm going to click the line chart ahead of time just because I know that's the one I want. Click Start a New Search right here, and when it brings up this tab, you're going to want to go ahead and type in here your search. So let's just go ahead and search in our top Bibles, all passages, and let's look for the word Spirit. What we've done is we've searched for the English word Spirit in all passages in our top Bibles. Now, you're going to say it didn't do anything over here in the charts. Well, that's because we still need to click the charts button in the corner of the search. You should see this right here. It's just got these little bar graphs available. Click that button, and now it is going to put your search into the chart. These are all of the places in the Bible where the word Spirit is used, and you can see that it's broken down by individual book. So here, this one jumps way up. Look at that giant peak. What book is that? Of course, it's the book of Acts. The word Spirit is used 66 times, at least in the NIV translation, in the book of Acts. So you have all of these opportunities to look at each of these translations, and this chart I really like because it spans the whole Bible, but you can zoom in. Notice here in this section of the Old Testament, we have one translation in particular that doesn't implement the word Spirit very often. If you just click and drag, you can actually highlight that section and it will zoom in. Oh, what are we looking at? This is the book of Psalms. Look, most translations translate the word Spirit 18 to 20 times, whereas one translation only translates it 9 times at this point. That's very interesting. You can adjust this easily to look at and zoom in on different sections of the Bible. And if you double click this bar, it'll zoom back out and show you the entire Bible. Now, of course, this is available for your English searches, and you can also go to different types of graphs. I like this line graph because you can easily visualize those differences, but also the pie graph is going to be very popular. And you can see immediately, just after looking, Acts contains 12% of all of the biblical cases of the translation of Spirit. Very, very good to know. You also have bar graphs and many, many other options available to you. So I think you guys are going to like this very much. Now, of course, you can also implement not just your English search, but you can also implement your Greek searches as well. So let's say you were going to go ahead and search for Spirit, but you were going to do so in Greek. You start to type in pneuma. You can click here for the lemma search, enter, and boom, it's now searched for the Greek word. You can see the word Spirit here was getting differences in translation, whereas when we search for pneuma in particular, we get a chart here that has no differences in between translations because the underlying Greek text is the same. And so that is what you can see as well. And of course, it returns the New Testament. So this charts tool is going to be a very good way to visualize your searches and get that quick breakdown so you can see what's happening. Again, you can zoom in and out on the line chart, which I really, really like. And you can also, of course, use the pie charts and those other ones as well. So the charts are very, very nice, and you can utilize that to see all of your searches visually. Okay, without further ado, let's now look at the Fact Book. Now, the Fact Book has been around for a while, but the Fact Book in particular has received an update in Logos 9. Logos is really working to try and make the Fact Book a one-stop shop for almost any idea that you want to dive into. So if we type Spirit here into the Fact Book, the first thing I want you to notice is all of the different options that are available to you. If you had typed this into the Fact Book in Logos 8, you're going to get Spirit concept and maybe a couple of these other ideas, but not nearly the amount of information that's available here. Instead, you can see here, I get Pneuma, I get your Hebrew, Ruach, and I get Psuke and other of the Hebrew and Greek words, in addition as fairly different topics like Holy Spirit as a preaching theme or as a character. So you're going to have all of these options available to you, and now you can just go to the Fact Book and be much more confident that when you type something in, you're going to get something that you're looking for. Let's click Spirit Concept. Now, once you've searched Spirit Concept, you're going to find a few more options available to you that weren't in the previous version. The first thing is this key article. This is going to open up a key article. Here it opens in the Lexham Bible Dictionary, and it's going to open you a key article that can immediately get you familiarized with the concept. So that's one thing that's new. Next, you'll get key passages that are available to you. Again, this can already get you thinking if you're looking for a preaching or some sort of idea like that, or just trying to find scripture references that utilize this topic. In addition, you're going to have biblical senses. Senses used to be in Logos 8. Now they're called biblical senses. And you've got all of these other ideas. See also at the bottom as well is going to give you a springboard to another similar topic. So we search Spirit. Well, here we've got topics for angel, cherubim, or ghost. In addition, we can run a topic guide on the topic of Spirit, or we can run a sermon starter guide on the topic of angels, or we can start a biblical topical study on a workflow. So you've got many options here, and Fact Book is really being fleshed out a lot more so that it can be your one-stop shop. If you're unsure where to go when you're searching for a topic or an idea or something like that, now the Fact Book is going to be something that you run to first rather than something that you're running to third, fourth, or fifth, because you're going to know, oh, I've got the Fact Book available to me, and it's going to point me in the right direction. So I love the Fact Book. That's kind of like your one-stop shop, your starting place for any study that you might be going on. One final thing I want to show you guys in particular, guys, and it's a new guide that is now available. So if you go to Guides here and you scroll down, you're going to see right here the counseling guide. This counseling guide is brand new to Logos 9. Now, it used to be if you were going to go into a counseling session or you needed some counseling talking points for any specific topic, you kind of had to know your library a little bit better. And you just had to have better access to those materials and know what you were looking for when it came to your counseling guide. But that's no longer the case. Now you have a guide that you can run to, and you can put in your counseling topic ahead of time. And once you've put that in, you can begin to make those changes and look at what that topic has to say. So, for example, we'll put in the topic of alcohol right here, and it gives us two options, alcoholism or alcoholic parents. You can see the hearts over here indicate that these are counseling guide topics. So let's click alcoholism. You can see you get related counseling topics, passages, and monographs on the topic. So you've automatically got passages that are relevant to the topic you've searched. Luke 21:34, be careful or your hearts will be weighed down with carousing, drunkenness, and anxieties of life, and that day will close on you suddenly like a trap. Very powerful verse. Or You've got related counseling topics. Maybe once you've started to study alcoholism, you realize you need to study addiction as well, or perhaps drunkenness. You're going to have other topics available to you so you can dig deeper into your study. Finally, down here in monographs, this is going to open up any books that you have on the topic, and it's going to give you some of the relevant sections. So this is the Biblical Counseling Keys on Alcohol and Drug Abuse, and I can click any section here, and it will open up right away to that area for me to have a discussion about. And so now if you're trying to get going on a counseling topic, or you just personally want to dig into a topic where you might need some counsel, the counseling guide is going to be very, very helpful for you to implement that. Okay? So I hope that's helpful for you guys, especially as an overview. Again, I didn't want to go too much into detail on any of the specifics, but I wanted to give you a bit of a broad overview of some of the new features you should be looking out for, how to access them, and to get good value out of them. Okay, guys, I hope you liked that overview and you enjoyed some of those new features. Now, this is not at all meant to be exhaustive. I'm not trying to go into ultimate depth on any of these features. They've also made some changes to the documents window pane. The passage lists are now listed under documents so you can access them there. The sermon manager allows you to create templates out of your own sermons so you can more easily duplicate your own sermons as well, in addition to setting up and plotting your preaching schedule in particular. There are a lot more features that are available to dig into, but these are the high points I wanted to hit for you so you had a good understanding of what to look in. I'd appreciate it if you would put down in the comments if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, and I would love to get back to you and try to help you to navigate Logos 9. And in addition, if you have any interest whatsoever in watching me use Logos Live, I actually stream regularly my sermon preparation on Twitch, and you can find the link down below to find that sermon preparation, and you can actively ask me questions about Logos and how to use it, in addition to watching me use it and seeing how I utilize the program. Okay? I really appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, and I hope that this was helpful to you to figure out how to use your new Logos software to the best of your abilities. In addition, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like and the subscribe, because what that's going to do is enable us to put out more content for you guys, okay? One last thing I would like to say. I am a Logos affiliate, so if you actually go down to the links in the description, you can click any of those links and you can utilize my affiliate code in order to get yourself a discount over on Logos. Not only that, but it also gives me a small commission, and I greatly appreciate that. I hope this review was helpful for you. Thank you so much for swinging by the channel. We have a ton of videos, and we are trying to put out more and more Logos content as well. Let me know in the description, or excuse me, down in the comments, what you would like to see, and we'll try to put out videos on that. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoy digging into Logos 9.